I'm excited, and let me tell you why I'm excited. The level of engagement, the level of knowledge that I see displayed here is exciting. If you're a trainer, and I know some of you here are, it's frustrating when you have packaged a training and then it's like your students are looking at you as what are you talking about, or they're not responsive. It's very frustrating. But when you see your students engage and they are displaying a high level of intellectual depth, it makes you very excited. So even when I was talking to my sister back there and I was saying that this breakout session should really happen because the level of engagement and the depth I saw, I just was wondering really, because a lot has been said. But we're still going to have that session because I still believe that there's still a lot that I think you can still give. Now, the breakout session, we're going to have 3 groups like we had yesterday, and it's not going to be very long. This is the last activity we have today. After this, we have the closing ceremony, and then we'll take photographs. So please don't forget the photographs because we want you to pass the photograph. Now, what are you going to do? You're just going to highlight what your take home is, what you have learned in the past 2 days, yesterday and today, especially using 3 things we have talked about here: the TPJ, the STP, of course, and restorative justice. These are the 3 things we have talked about principally in this 2-day workshop. So you're going to tell us from 2 platforms, policy and application. All right, I hope I don't sound too academic. You guys laughing. That's my brother over there. So I said, you're going to give us your take home. What you will do like yesterday. Your group will discuss, one person will come and present. But let me say that those who presented yesterday, I don't want to see them present today. So I don't want to see them present today. I want to see some other persons present, okay? So that 3 study group, 3 groups, what are your take home, or what are the things you want to apply from these 3 programs we have talked about, from policy and application in your facilities, okay? So are we good? Okay, I hope I made myself clear. So good. Sorry? Okay. Okay, good. What I want us to do is that in your group, we're going to discuss, let us have your take home and how you're going to apply the things that you have learned here. I said from 2 platforms, policy, and then applying it to your facility. All right? Is it clear? Do you want to explain it again? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we'll just take our numbers like we took yesterday. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, we'll maintain the groups. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, let me give you to them.
All right, so better interaction.
We have quite a number of activities that we spelled out. We have what we call the counseling. Now the counseling is at the point we know the need of the inmates, we begin to counsel them spiritually or based on morality, and reason why they need to embrace the program. Now, as we also have literacy and numeracy competition, it's very important. We notice that when there is a competition, health competition within individual, that helps us to push our drive to carry out activities.
The end goal is behavioral modification.
Discipleship.
That's the third one.
3 stages. After the video, you have to watch the video. Is the discipleship, right?
No,
the next one.
The second one is talking about
Okay.
the course.
runs for 8 weeks.
Which one for 8 weeks?
And the principal figure is Jesus.
Yes. And the end goal is behavior modification.
We could also talk about the 3 R's, information, reputation, and somebody can write it down.
We put it down, don't worry.
Yes. So let's write quickly develop. Let's how do you see what you're doing?
No, we're not saying it doesn't make sense. We're saying that it's a way to present. Maybe it's better for you to write a good thing.
Let's start.
So, for policies that restorative justice is quoting from the Section 43, F and G. Is it not? Okay, restorative justice, CPJ,
Okay, so I have to read out
those are about the functions. Functions of correctional
policies, right?
Section 10.
So policies are
then you put
You mean about the policy?
Yes, the policy.
we have to apply for the application what I would suggest after each one, the STP, then policy or application. What we mentioned. So now give in order those things. So that this is how we can apply the policy and this program. Orientation for the staff.
What's our table on STP?
So this course is different. This course is an empowerment program. Train you, give you some starter packs, give you some loan, do your work.
That's for us.
For STP.
Yes.
There are two things. TPJ is purely focused on information. And it also has some part of STP also has to do with rehabilitation somehow, but majorly focuses on the transition, the reintegration of these youth. So it's basically has to do with and the focus on specific is on recidivism. I think that's where balanced justice is not the issue of how do we what matters? What have we taken from understood that this is restorative justice? How what's the impact of restorative justice, or how can restorative justice serve in resolving our issues? That's how we that's what we're doing.
Bringing the offenders.
Realize that their grant cost in the life of their victim. But you know about when they choose to decide you see the people that they victim after affecting the victim, it also affects the victim's family and so on. Yes. And also give victim to forgive. And giving this to the victim an opportunity to forgive. Giving the victim an opportunity to forgive. It's a healing process. Because it's a healing process. Both the process promotes reconciliation. This one is
Should we say desk officer or yes?
It's why you
Desk officer. Let me follow up. If there's a follow up, maybe you have the person who's among
It's actually you can do the course there. Not just cancelling. Not counting inmates. You will teach them first. You will teach them first. And then about first.
the Thursday lecture, yes.
Something about it first.
Thursday lecture is for staff, yes, but we use it to educate ourselves and inform ourselves.
No, you don't use it. What she's saying is, right now you're educating on students. But the student at this time, you have to post their educating inmates. What we're putting in is to have
The way we have ourselves and IDs and all readers themselves.
Yes, sometimes you teach the staff. It's for, you said, public lecture for staff. Now, how do you teach the inmates?
We have meetings like in my own facility. We have meetings with Marshall, IG,
Please, that is not the way it should be. I am now being taught, I have a certificate. You don't bring out the marshal, you know about it now.
what makes your peaceful is your own models of brand, your own models.
There's something yes. I get what she's saying. There's something I mean, we just feel uniform now. It is for every inmate. Maybe just say marshal first.
It's true, like you can't just select marshal.
I'm not going to say Marshall though.
We are like, you know what I say, like, what to make some teach.
Let us do the main thing. What is it all about? So that we please hold on. Let us, what is restorative justice? What is it all about? It's not done that. That is what they want from us.
We can put them down, they're all valid points. It's not just one way. Let me hear your own man. I get you. Let me hear your own.
We pass it on to other staff during the lectures. And then we now teach the inmates.
Okay.
We teach the inmates. We don't pick the marshal this time. We just pick inmates. From there, that is when we have the ambassadors. We learn, train others with our supervision.
So how do you when you have huge population?
Let's we ask them to give us names. A list. Maybe we have like 20, 30. It makes sense. So let's say that 30 that time. We gather them, train them. It's group by group. Because the way we sit around the table,
Okay,
we call each other by first name.
from each cell, big representatives first. I want to understand how
You make this announcement. Hold on, you make this announcement. There's going to be a training. Fine. Who are those interested? You want 30. Before you know it, your list will be filled.
okay, first 30. Okay.
After those ones, you pick another 30 depending on the number you want. So this and there's no marshal, there's no you pick. Yes. And you stand there. For example, myself, I don't even
Yes, I'm aware this is what we call Plaza State is doing it. Yes, so if you look at the amnesty document, you discover that skill acquisition programs run within in custody are all part of that, and they have scores. So they all them at them. So if TPG and listing STP can be accepted to, if we can push promote that to be preconditions for amnesty and the rest, yeah, the package as preconditions for national. It's a good policy. Yes.
I'm going to write. There's a need for refresher courses.
Training and
Training and retraining. And then for executives now, it's good for them to have roundtable discussions.
that is one. I think it should not be just for them. It should be like there should be a sectoral engagement at ministerial, if it's possible. Maybe it's always easier when it's ministerial, because I've discovered that PFN has a lot to do with the justice system, also have a lot to do with interior. So if we have that have managerial. I say executive level, I don't know the managerial level. So are we talking about CGs and CJs? Or we're talking about the, what do you call them?
I think managerial level stands for ACG.
Controllers, yeah, in the management. That would also be under, should be an activity under police. Should be an activity, yeah, so application under police.
Ourselves as officers.
1 more minute.
Now, Thursday lecture, we will skip ourselves as officers. Train the trainer. You've been trained. You go back to train your colleagues. The colleagues interact with inmates, train the inmates. We organize training programs for maybe 30. You can say the first 30 inmates from each cell. They come and then you do the next batch. From there, you have representatives from those you have trained, you have learned, that will go ahead to train other people. We know there is also the TPJ. This is the individual, you look at it from the individual and from an individualistic angle. Whereas, and then we know that these two things, these programs are not religion-based. They are outside of saying you're a Christian or a Muslim. It is looking at the individual and how to prepare this person. Any questions?
One, two, three, go. Another one.
What we did was we tried to summarize, we tried to bring the three together. And not separate one from the other. TPJ, STP, RJ are all tools for validating our activities. And it increases religious involvement when established and accepted. It changes the effect of behavioral pattern too. STP has to do with rehabilitation somehow. Main focus is on discipline. I hope I got that right. And it is a restorative justice process. So the policy, since we put everything together, I will give you the policy for everything and the application for everything. The policy, there is need to bring it into our curriculums and training institutes. Then adopt it as one of our behavioral applications. 3. Publication, that is making advocacy as a policy to show reports on the program. Then annual monitoring of the project, that will monitor the program annually. Then if it can be accepted, it should be a precondition for amnesty. Then the application, we make advocacy. That is on our Thursday lectures, we made advocacy. We talk to staff on it, make lectures for it. Then 2, periodic training of welfare officers. That's part of the application. Welfare officers will give quarterly returns on the progress of the projects in our facilities. Then there is need for refresher courses once in a while. Then we should be able to have a round-table discussion with the management. RJ, establishment of mediation and deliberate measures, encourage victims, offender mediation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm standing on the existing protocol. I'd like to talk on CPJ first. it's a behavioral modification program that has no religious base. You know, the principal figure is Jesus, where the end goal is just to modify our behavior. Firstly, modify your own behavior before you can, inculcate the same habits on that of the inmates. Then, the classes are very, very compulsory, and assignments must be done before you can graduate. On STP, restorative justice system needs to be, talked about. Knowing the crime the person committed, owning that responsibility that I actually did this, and owning to the fact that I did, and you should be able to tell the story, being remorseful of your behavior, how you've done that, and then, our major intention what to achieve is just, to know the mistake, let the victim forgive one another. When you forgive yourself, you'll be able to forgive the person that offended you. The restorative justice system is just to repair our, mediate between the offender, maybe, and the community, just like my colleague said the whole time. Then I think what we need to apply here is we need to work on our behavior. Even as a parent, we need to check ourselves before we can check others. And the way we communicate with them, positive communication is effective here. We need to communicate with ourselves, in the language that we understand. And then our own policy is based on being a good ambassador of this seminar, going back to our custodial center to preach the gospel of TPJ, FDP, RJ, to our fellow inmates, to our fellow staffs, and before we will now become a trainer's trainee. Then I think on the other parts, we were not being taught, but it is working in our own custodial center, the Onesimus project. It's a very, very beautiful opportunity, that makes the pre-release of our inmates, it makes it easier when they're going back to the society to reintegrate with their family. They have something to fall back on. They don't need to go back to crime. And the TPJ, the RJ, and
Over time.
you didn't tell me.
I was enjoying you.
I think that the TPJ, the RJ, needs, to be taught on our Thursday lectures. Maybe we'll create a manual, add it into our. I think our guy is here. Maybe we should add it into our Thursday, manual, so that it will help us to teach each and everyone, including the inmates that are our children. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's do that for the clap again for them. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Thank you all for such brilliant submissions. 2 things I just want to say before we go on. By the past conferred on me as the SA Training and Research for Prison Fellowship Nigeria, I designate all of you now as ambassadors of Prison Fellowship Nigeria.
Wow.
Are we done? Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Ojiri Chinoye Cynthia, followed by Gambo. Hello, Mary, right? Gambo Hawa, Folami. Folami Ghanaian. Oh. She's here. Epitomis. Victoria. Adiwere Isaiah. Adiwere Isaiah. Obioso Comfort. Ejiofor Ichioma. Ejiofor. Afolabi Titilayo. Salman Totti. Oba Rewa Joseph. Adegalo Majekodunmi Grace. Propose Estosi. Owakwe Beatrice Ikeja. Omoyekbe Iyabo. Omoyekbe Iyabo. Thank you, Edith. Please come say Shaku, can we present an excellent certificate? Edith, you see come up, so don't relax. Ilori Grace Adewumi. Lola Abiola. Okun Muyide Elizabeth. Aqui são Iago Rafael. Eyo Anthony MC. Kuku Adegukola Forsyth. Uba Getro. Abiodun Egunjo. Fakayo Egunkola Christian. Ati Isaiah. Thank you very much, Ikeja. Can we have the mini band, please? Onoha Ezine. Henrietta Sheu. Luca Ayedo. Ibrahim Ishak.
Nigeria's following to serve our Father's land with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes must shine.